my brain. But yeah, dude, I feel like Wiz. I remember the last album I listened to that was like from front to back, probably my favorite, and it has to still be between Kush and OJ,
Oh yeah, that's his classic.
classic.
One. Yeah.
But then after that, I would have to say, in terms of classics, mind you, we're live, so we're still rolling right now. But we always like to have discussions of what's up with that, just to kind of break the ice and
Yeah, all good.
talk. We talk about music all the time, literally all the time. So speaking of that, our guest for season 2, episode 5.
Yeah.
Well, should we just Bart or?
Yeah, Bart's fine.
All right.
Yeah.
Welcome, Bart.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Thanks
to
for having me.
Outside the
Appreciate
Let me
it.
get you to scoot up just a little bit into that mic for me. Yeah, you can scoot that chair up. Perfect.
How about that?
It's good, man.
Path.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
What's up, guys? Yeah, like Nimbus was saying, season 2, episode 5. Welcome. I'm your host, Nick Martin. We got Bart, Nimbus. Bart runs a rehearsal spot, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
We are SquareWave Live. Opened in June officially. Signed a lease in February, but got off the ground in June. Started taking in some bands on the So What festival, so that was
Oh,
pretty
perfect.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
Cool. Yeah, pretty cool. And been steady growing ever since, but could always use fresh faces.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
How do we get everybody
Absolutely.
down there signed up, using the equipment and sounding
Yeah.
great? So
I was on your Instagram and noticed, I'm like, okay, very new, fairly. And you guys just had the opening party. How was that?
it was cool. We had Zane and the Strange Angels, who have a room with us. They were gracious enough to play in the lobby area, and we brought in some refreshments, had some non-alcoholic choices, had some different choices for other people,
Of
just
course,
to
sure.
kind of celebrate the space.
Yeah.
It was cool. They played a great set. I was kind of. I knew he was a player. I knew he had been around the scene. I knew a lot of the same cats that he's known over the years, and his wife and I have known a lot of the same cats over the years. But got blown away.
Yeah.
I mean, he really brought it, and he played everything from like first album Pink Floyd stuff all the way to Butthole Surfer stuff, all the way to
Oh, that's cool.
just
Yeah.
Dick Dale did some like crazy rockabilly stuff in the middle. But
Nice.
it was cool. It was super vibey, and it was
sounds cool.
super chill, and yeah, we had a lot of fun with it. It was cool.
So how long you said you've been open now?
Since June.
Since
Yeah.
June? Okay. Yeah.
It's weird because we signed a lease in February.
Right.
I actually started this whole project back in April of 21, and it took a minute to get everything rolling and get permits and
Yeah, I can imagine.
COs and funding and
Yeah.
all this stuff that goes into it. So June to answer the question.
Right on.
I just I renewed my lease in June, so it's a special month for me too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Bang.
Yeah, y'all check it out, man. This is rehearsal spots out in East Dallas. You can get everything from personal to hourly rehearsals, band rehearsal rooms,
Oh yeah.
and I think you have a podcast room too.
We do.
Yeah.
We do, and so I'm kind of I'm taking notes mentally. Like,
I was looking at y'all's setup, honestly.
Yeah.
Well, it's rude. It's real basic, man. I mean,
It's all you need, though.
It's real basic.
Yeah.
I've seen that mixer. I know. What that is. I've got the Focusrite interface. So if you bring the laptop, plug in.
That's what I thought you were doing.
And we're
Yeah.
a dealer for Shure mics, so we've got the Shure podcast mics in there.
Oh, nice.
And then I've got a off-board preamp if you want to do something like that with it too. If you want to put something a little warmer on the voice,
Yeah.
post, we can do that.
That's
cool. Yeah.
Nice.
No, they got a cool little setup in there, man. It's with the little table and the Shure mics, man. It looks official.
I gotta check it out. I would love to go there one day.
I need to up my light game.
Hey,
First thing I'm doing.
lighting makes a big difference.
Nice.
It makes a big difference. Yeah.
Yeah.
What made you want to get into just this project in itself in terms of like the space and getting the space out there? Because Dallas is, in my opinion, a bubbling scene and there's a lot of creators here.
Yeah.
So what made you, what sparked that like for you to
So I
create
got
this
motivated
space?
on a few things. I've been playing since I was 14, 15, playing. I've probably rented rehearsal spaces all over Dallas. we were at one of the bands I was at. We were at Bishop Manor with Duncan Black, who's a mentor of mine, has been a great friend, really coached me and helped me along the way. So, shout out to Bishop Manor. And I've also rehearsed at Texas Jam, so I got to say shout out to Liz at Texas Jam for always taking my phone calls.
Yeah. Yeah, shout out.
Yeah, so, you don't get here on your own.
Yeah.
My wife has been tremendously supportive. I worked in restaurant management for a long time. I worked in insurance management for a long time. And at some point, you don't want to, answer to anybody else.
No, I hear you.
It's true.
I get it.
It's true.
Yeah, I think we all feel that way, right?
Yep.
Right. So one of the last places I was renting at, they upped the rent by a lot, in my opinion. And said, hey, man, I've been here 3 years, never missed a payment. What's up?
Mm-hmm.
And they said, and the answer was, if you don't like it, we got a waiting list of 350 people, and do what you want to do. And I said, oh, really? All right, watch this.
Yeah.
So I got inspired to go and put a business plan together, put a model together, try to find what makes most sense. We were living in East Dallas, and there's nothing over there. And so I started looking around and trying to find a spot, working with realtors, but really it was motivated by necessity and kind of can I do it?
Yeah. Yeah.
If I really quit the insurance job, if I really put the money together,
that's a leap of faith.
Funding,
yeah.
And I couldn't have done it without my wife backing me and saying, "Stop working that job. I'm sick of hearing you bitch about it every day."
Oh my God.
And so she said, "Do anything." So we did, and
that's great to have somebody behind you.
A motivator. For
you gotta have somebody backing you, and then it takes a village, right? You gotta have
1,000%.
People that are smarter than you, and luckily there's a ton of people that are smarter than me, and I just try to pay attention and make that work. So,
and they believe in you too.
Yeah, you got to come through
when the time comes.
Right.
What you say you're gonna do when you say you're gonna do it.
Right.
Other than that, I mean, yeah, I'm blessed, man. I'm just lucky to have really good people around me.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome, man. So speaking about the podcast stream, what podcasts have you had anyone come through yet?
No.
Any shows?
No. Here's how that started.
All right, guys, y'all need to hit him up. Come
Word.
through.
You got a podcast? Talk to this man. Make sure y'all follow him.
Yes.
Yeah, we would love that. Here's how that came to be. So a buddy of mine who I've known for years and years and years found out he was going to be a father, and he wanted to have his own show, and it's going to be called "Oh Shit, I'm Going to Be a Dad."
That's cool.
That's actually tight.
That's cool.
I thought it was great. Great idea. I've got a 2.5-year-old, and I was saying, here's the stuff you're not thinking about. Here's what you might be thinking about. And I promise you this: there are a ton of men out there that don't know what's going on until
100%.
You're learning
in real time.
I think that's how we all learn, is in the moment.
Yeah.
You know.
So, and we had our son in 20, so that was middle of the
pandemic.
Oh
yeah.
I was the only one allowed in the hospital. My wife's having to wear a mask while they're in delivery and all that kind of stuff. So it was really we were really kind of isolated in learning those things together, but doing birthing classes online and stuff like that.
That's wild.
So I know he had a ton of questions. I was like, man, I think a lot of people have a lot of questions.
Yeah.
This out and do this. That didn't really jump off for a few reasons. Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I still got the gear. And I still got the drive to.
That's a cool idea, though.
I was about to say,
dig that.
dude, as many fathers that are out there that have no book or guide, when it comes to women, I feel like they have more guides to childbirth and what to do with the child and weaning and off the titty and stuff like that. But for men, it's like we got to find it out in real time, and we got to be there for our woman as a support system, combined with the child in terms of helping out when the woman's tired and wants to sleep.
Yeah.
I get it, dude. That's a great idea. Dang.
Somebody told me along the way is like, remember to get up, because when the kids start screaming, it has to be fed at night.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. She's gonna be the first one to go, especially if they're nursing. That not everybody does that, but the guy leans over and goes, "Just get up."
It's hard. It's so hard.
Get up.
Yeah.
All right, I'm up.
I know I slacked on that. I know I did. Yeah. It's rough. It's so rough.
Yeah.
I've had to raise a few kids, man. I was my mom's oldest, so when she had my little sister, I was 12.
Oh.
So I had to get out of bed because my little sister's room was right next to my room, and when she would cry, my mom would be asleep, dad would be asleep, so I'm up, holding her, rocking her to
Yeah, so
sleep.
you know all about it.
Yeah, dude, what? Heating up the bottle of milk, and then, you know what I'm saying?
Middle of
Next
the
thing you know,
night.
yeah, I gotta go to school in the morning, but fuck that. I'd rather make sure she's good, and then on top of that, I ain't gotta hear a crying baby. So it's just like, it's a win-win.
I think that bummed me out about all that was like, by the time you get good at something, they change.
Oh, yeah.
So you get to
right?
master SWAT.
Yeah.
And you get your technique
Yes.
down. Don't be tickling or nothing. I mean, you are going through it, and then they say, "Oh, they don't do that anymore."
Dude, but I feel like
You just got fucking good at it.
No doubt.
What are you talking about?
No
We're
doubt.
heating the bottles up.
What?
We're figuring out your whole
The rhythm.
sanitary system
Yep.
about how you sterilize things and how it's gonna work. And then we don't do that anymore now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yo, word.
Like, fuck a sippy cup. I'm trying to.
I did all of
it. All that stuff,
Shout outs to the dads out there that hold it
Yeah.
down.
Shout out, guys. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Wow.
It's hard.
Wow.
Anyway.
So you're managing a business and a 2-year-old at the same time.
Yeah. I think everybody should do that.
You're a G. It's not easy. It's not easy.
No,
all.
it's not. I'd say I had hair when I started this, but
How are you? How are you balancing? Is it hard for you to balance that work and life flow?
yeah, man, you gotta know when to slam one thing shut.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it bleeds over, especially with people coming in on hourlies. And I do a deal where if you get your hourly room, I'll give you a little sound check to go in just to make sure that your sounds are right.
Okay.
You sound good.
That's cool.
And
So you're not wasting time doing that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I judge my performance based on how long does it take them to come into the room and get sound to start run-throughs.
Yeah.
Because they're paying by the hour, right? And so you don't want to waste so much time with equipment that doesn't work or sketchy mics or PA doesn't, and I'm not saying that it goes perfectly every time. It doesn't.
Yeah.
But
I mean, that's just equipment.
right.
That's just how it goes.
Any of this stuff, all these little routes of signal path.
Oh, dude, Eric Wilson, I lost his whole show because of a fucking SD card.
I ran out of space.
No, it just when we went to go plug it into the laptop, there's a format issue, so it wiped the whole card.
I've done some practice recording with an SD, and I jacked the first one.
Mm-hmm. You live and learn, dude.
It happens.
Yeah, and you can't pull it back.
You can't.
It's just gone.
Yep.
I'm speaking with Eric next month. Excited about that.
You're going on the show?
Yeah.
Oh, I went on in August. It's great.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm excited about it. I've been trying to put together a playlist that highlights some of the artists in our group, but
that's a good idea. Yeah.
At our space. But I also want to, you don't get a big opportunity to really
Right.
come back
Right.
through some of the old punk and some of the
Exactly.
things that.
No, I had a
always
blast with it,
influence
dude.
my music,
Yeah,
so.
big shout out KPR, Kick Push Radio. We do all the commercials in the show. I know y'all see them. Send in your clips. I'll put it in the commercial. Big shout out, Eric.
Yeah. Looking forward to that.
Yeah, it's awesome, dude. It's a good show. I was curious just about, we were speaking about the studio. Do you have like soundproofing issues from room to room to room?
Yeah.
How do you handle that?
Luckily, I don't have just a ton of overlap with the artists. So in the middle of the day, I'll get a couple times last week. I've got a guy that has a 13-piece cover band with horns and steel guitar, and they were getting ready for their big Christmas show. So
Okay.
I've been hearing Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer and
On repeat.
Have a Jolly,
consistent.
Holly Jolly Christmas.
Oh, man.
I had to put together a small set to go play at a thing. So I've had a very
Yo, a
very
13
Merry
piece?
Christmas for so he's
That's
got
a big
that
band.
going on
Yes,
from
a 13-piece. I'm like,
from
that's a
10 to
lot of
noon,
sound.
But luckily, the metal guys don't wake up until
Later.
They work
Yeah.
day jobs, so they come in later, and I haven't
That makes
heard
sense. Yeah.
anybody get too weird about it. And when you're in the room and you're playing, you really just hear what's in the room. It's not till you pause that you hear,
That's right.
the double kick of a drum down the hall. But and I try to be strategic about.
That's what I was gonna ask. Do you kind
It
of space
is.
them out?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you it's like
Let's
tune in
put
the
the
drum,
metal
go
guy
here, go down here,
in the
go
back.
here.
How many rooms do you have?
Right now I got 14. 6 are available. So we are filling up fast. We've got a lot of fish on the
Yeah. Do you offer like extended stays or monthly?
I go month to month.
Okay.
And most people like that.
Yeah.
That's convenient.
If I'm negotiable on any aspect of it, whether that's the deposit or that's the monthly rent itself. So
Yeah.
I could probably be more hardline about this costs this, but I just try to make it work for the artist.
I mean, as far as pricing, I was looking at your pricing, and it's as far as like what's going on in Dallas around here, it's pretty reasonable.
Yeah.
Yeah, because when me and my band were looking for rehearsal spots back in the day, dude, we were paying an arm and a leg for it, and we actually lost some equipment being able not to pay rent.
Yeah.
And that sucked. That was a heavy hit.
So there's a couple philosophies on that. One is you don't pay rent, I lock your door, keep your stuff.
Yeah.
And I had a business partner in the beginning of this, and now I don't. But he was like, "Yeah, we'll keep that and we'll use that." And I was like, "Come get your shit."
Yeah.
I don't want it. I don't want to be.
Yeah.
It creates a bigger issue that doesn't need to be.
I respect the
yeah.
shit out of that.
Well, I don't need. I don't
Bad
need
blood.
it. Bad blood, and the fact is, half the time it's not the kind of stuff I want anyway.
Exactly.
So
I get
if
that.
your guitar makes you happy and it's your life, take
Yeah.
that with you.
Dude, so one day we showed up to the studio one day, doors just locked, and I'm like, no fucking way. And so I call my homie Chris. I'm like, hey, dude, your dad happened to pay the rent? And he's like, no. And I'm like, well, I already know what happened. And all of our shit's gone. And so for like week, 2 weeks, we were just trying to get all our shit out of there. I lost the pedals and amp. And the crazy shit about it is the night before we rehearsed there, and I was like, man, I'm going to take my guitar home tonight. I just feel like I just going to take it home. And it was this one, actually.
Oh, wow.
I still got it. But I would have lost it that night. Yeah, it's wild, dude. And I left it there for months. But that night, I took it home.
Good.
Yeah.
You never know.
Yeah.
And you get attached to your instruments.
Oh, yeah.
I've got a Les Paul that has gone in pawn a couple times.
Mm-hmm.
And I got scared the last time it was in because I didn't think I was getting it back. And then it was around Christmas, and my sister got it out of hock for me. And I was, so under the tree is my guitar. I was like,
Oh, that's awesome.
Because,
That's sick.
yeah, because you
You get attached.
Yeah, man.
You
They're
get attached. I remember my MK2 machine. That was the first, literally the first MIDI controller I ever bought right after a car accident. I just knew I wanted a machine. I wanted to get into production, and then I had to sell it at one point in time just because, like,
Shit
I
hurts.
needed the money. I was
Hurts.
going from town to town, and I needed all the money I could get before I left from Chicago to LA. And I sold that because I was just like, fuck it, I'm not taking this to LA,
Yeah.
I can only put so much in a luggage.
Dude, my guitar collection, what would be? Oh my God.
Crazy?
Like, I've sold Dean's, fucking Paul Reed Smith's. Like, it's a shameful, the guitars I've gotten rid of, dude.
I
Like,
like those pedals that I wish I still had.
yeah.
I used to have the Shredmaster by Marshall. That came out with the Governor back in the '90s, and now I look back at that and I think that used to be a great sound. But,
Yeah, right.
But equipment kind of changes hands and comes and goes.
Mm-hmm.
That's true.
Yeah, if you had every piece you ever had, you'd need a big room.
Oh, dude, it filled this room up. No doubt, yeah.
It'd be a museum.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, good. I took when I moved out to Phoenix, I took 2 instruments with me, and it wasn't because I was going to go out to play. I always thought shit gets sideways, and I need to be able to buy a plane ticket or bus ticket home.
Yeah.
That was my insurance.
Hey, seriously, I know that if I ever get in like a real tight pinch, I got 3 or 4 guitars that I can just like sell and yeah.
It's collateral, man.
Yeah. So how long you been playing?
It's about 30 years.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Started on guitar. I played bass in a band for quite a while. They're pulling me off the bench to do a reunion show in Oklahoma next month or March. That got changed March. So I kind of flip-flop between guitar and bass.
What's the name of the band?
Even Mark.
Even Mark.
Played bass for them. Played rhythm and lead for Smooth Choppy. And we played everywhere in Dallas. That was a big party band, a lot of hype.
That's cool.
Played
Well, which one do you prefer, bass or guitar?
I don't know. It's like, which one's your favorite kid?
Yeah, right.
I mean, I
good
really
answer.
like the bass lines of some things. That,
Yeah.
That I'm feeling. And
I get it. Sometimes you want to hang in the back. Sometimes you want to be up front.
sometimes you just want to make a big wall of noise.
I get
with the
that.
Guitar,
Yeah.
And, you know.
I always liked the vibration of the bass. And every time I tried to play it, it just felt right. Like, because it has such a wide range of a sound. And then at the same time, when you have a guitar, it's like it can get really gnarly or it can be very smooth. It all depends on what you're playing, what rhythm section you're going in. But like when I touched that bass, I was like, ooh, this feels good.
Yeah.
The vibration feels good. Literally.
Oh
We
yeah.
saw Funk Yo Feelings. It was a funk band in the Balcony Club on Saturday. I don't know if I'm supposed to be.
That's a cool name.
Yeah,
Cool
Funk Yo
band.
Feelings.
Yeah, Funk Yo Feelings.
They were
Yeah.
tight. They were, like tight, like a
Tight
as a
band.
band. They were
Yeah.
a tight
Yeah.
band, and they had 2 bass players. One was holding it down on a 5-string, doing all the pop slap, and they were doing everything from like Curtis Mayfield to P-Funk to
Oh shit.
anything like other things that I'm not going to think
Harlem and
of. in the
Funkadelic
Georgia
though.
clip.
I mean, just imagine that. Yeah,
Oh,
that
yeah.
era. That era. Speaking of eras, what would be your favorite era of music? Because we talked about
Oh,
this a
yeah,
little bit
yeah.
on the last pod. What would be your favorite era of music if you had to choose? Like
Anytime.
Yeah.
Anytime.
Like let's go decades.
That's hard. That is a hard question.
I-
Probably for an all around.
Yeah.
Probably 70s.
70s. All right.
my gosh, yes,
Probably.
yes,
Because you got so much going on.
Yeah. Right.
yes, bro.
Whether it's punk or whether it's the classic rock stuff or even the prog stuff that was coming around or the funk. The funk was serious in '76. So, yeah, I'd probably. I'm an '80s kid too. I would. I got
70s.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's hard though.
I said the
That's
same
hard.
thing. The only reason why is because there's some of my favorite musicians that literally popped in the 70s and they were going crazy. And then on top of that, it was kind of like open season.
Yeah.
Like when I was reading the Jimi Hendrix documentary, like from front to back, from when he got famous to when he met the Beatles to when he was like showing out to when he set his guitar on fire. And I was just like, God damn. Mind you, like, it was kind of strict back then in terms of, you know, society, but at the same time, music was so much more alive because it was rebellious.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
nobody gave a fuck. They were
You
just
didn't
doing
have
what the
great
fuck they
PA
wanted to do.
systems, so all your shit was loud.
Yeah. Right.
And to get the tones, you had to push all those tubes.
Well, that's how Distorted Guitar came about.
Exactly.
It was from a broken PA.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Great book about that is called The Birth of Loud, and it talks about how Fender came up and Gibson came up, and how Fender was making amps for guys, and the need for a solid body guitar because the hollow bodies were feeding back as the bands were getting louder.
Oh, okay. Right
And
on.
how he brought in
Oh.
the P bass to offset the stand up.
Yeah.
So really cool shit when you're talking about tech at the time, early '60s, and how that took off, and how when you overdrive the amp, you get the distortion.
Yeah.
What that did, you know, musically.
It changed everything.
Everything.
Yeah. It created genres.
Yeah.
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 Wow. I gotta check that
Cool
book out.
read.
That sounds
You ever-
like a
It
good
was
one.
a cool read too.
You ever seen that documentary? It Might Get Loud.
Oh yeah.
Love that one. Yeah, it's so great.
Nice.
It's
Yeah.
Jimmy Page, The Edge from U2, and Jack White.
Yeah.
Such influential guitar players, like in their own right. But when they come together in a room, dude, and they start talking, and then Jimmy Page starts playing, dude, it's so cool. Like just to watch them fucking like fan out over Jimmy Page for a minute, you know?
And Jack White's a mad.
Oh, dude, I
He's a
love
madman.
Jack White. I'm a huge Jack White fan.
Yeah, me too. I'm a big fan of all three of those guys. And you know, you got somebody like Edge who's taking advantage of all that tech and all that, all those ways to manipulate the signal path. And then you got Jack White who's like kind of in the middle of both of them. You know, where he's borrowing from the old stuff.
Right.
He nails that railroad spike
yeah.
together, runs it over a pickup, starts playing slide guitar on it.
So
He's
the movie starts out with him like making a like
What?
yeah,
Bro, I'm trying to picture this, and I'm
Yeah.
just like,
He's
whoa.
making like a cigar box guitar, and it's just like you said, he's like nailing this thing down, draws the string back over the thing, and he's just playing like a badass little song. And he just made a guitar in like 5 minutes.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's sick.
pickup signal.
Yeah.
I'll watch this.
It's great. It's an awesome show to watch.
Yeah.
I've referenced that all the time.
Yeah, it's great.
It's cool.
What's another like influential doc you've seen?
Docs?
Or-
I read more of the. Yeah.
How about books?
Well, I like Jimi Hendrix. I like the Birth Aloud, like I said. I finished the one that was a lot of fun was the Running with the Devil, which was written by the tour manager for Van Halen.
Oh, shit.
Oh, okay.
And they put a gag order on him for like 35 years and wouldn't let him say anything.
Oh, no way.
Really?
So a few years ago that ran out, and he put the book out.
Damn.
Is this when the movie came out, The Dirt?
No, that's Motley Crue. But
Oh,
that's
my bad. Yeah,
but
yeah.
that's another great
Yeah.
book.
Yo.
And that's a serious book.
Yeah.
And Nikki Sixx, they're not my. I'm not gonna say that I don't love the band, but they're not who I would go to play all the time.
Yeah.
But some of these guys' backstories. It's like you gotta respect some of the shit they went through.
Did you see the Netflix movie that they did on Motley Crue?
And it was great.
That shit, I watched it on a plane, and I was
awesome.
really enjoying it. Yeah.
And it's really true to the
Man
book.
snorted a line of ants.
Yeah, Ozzy's wild, dude.
Him too.
Yeah.
So yeah. But yeah, it's were the 80s more fun? I don't know. I was 10. I remember Thriller. I remember playing the shit out of that.
Yeah, you're talking before my time, so I mean it's yeah.
Oh man.
Well, anyway.
That's so cool.
Have you had any like crazy studio stories happen? Because like it's a studio, man. Like shit happens. Like
not in my studio.
Yeah.
Not yet.
It's fairly new too.
It is fairly new,
Yeah.
and we pride ourselves on a very clean, very safe, very. I wouldn't say it's not a sober facility, but it's not what you might expect from a rehearsal space.
You get that?
And I think when you walk in, you go, "This is," and I hear it all the time because people, "This isn't like wood." We say, "This isn't like the normal." It's like, well, new, which helps. It's still shiny.
Yeah.
But our artists are great.
They respect the space.
That's what I was just about to say.
They do respect the space, and they respect each other. Probably the coolest thing about that grand opening was seeing all the artists mingle together. Ray Zimmerman, who
shout out Ray,
she shows up and the band's playing, and the metal guys are there, and it was just cool to see. I think that's my most. That's when I get really happy about what I'm doing, is if I'm in the hallway and there happens to be a few artists talking about a show that's coming up or something that's going on, or they're looking for a play or something, and I can see that community forming, and that's when I get, well, maybe I'm doing something good.
Yeah,
100%. Yeah,
maybe we got something going here.
100%, dude.
And it's in a place that's not, scary.
That's real. That's real,
Dude, some of those spots are ducked off in like a weird spot. Like we used to have a spot, or shout out Jake. He used to have a spot. It was a recording studio rather, but it got shot up when he was there one night. Yeah.
Stuff happens. All kinds of business gets done out of the spots.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Just gotta keep just be mindful.
Yeah.
And I tell everybody that comes in, look, house rules are this: no smoke, no guns. If you can deal with that, we'll be fine. I understand that people get inspired to play music in all kinds of ways. I'm not new. Hell, I used to inspire myself with things that I hope my son doesn't get into. But it doesn't have to mean that that you can't go get your inspiration and then come in here to do your business,
Sure.
work,
Yeah.
play.
And any other place you go to, that's how it is.
Yeah.
They're not gonna let you smoke or do anything inside, really.
No, not in the rule book.
Yeah.
What goes on is what goes on. But I think a rehearsal space makes a tremendous amount of difference if you want to advance your playing or your your live performance. But you got to be able to come in and do that. So
And take it seriously.
yeah, and not use it as a treehouse for.
Dude, that's what we did. That's what we did. It was just our treehouse, honestly. It was our clubhouse. I mean, we would come in there, hang out, smoke, drink, and be there till all fucking night. Sleep there sometimes. I mean, we abused and used that place like it was our home away from home,
Word.
But yeah, good times.
Yeah, I used to go to this place called the Music Garage in Chicago.
Yeah.
And it was a big warehouse. Big. I mean, huge. Studio spaces from first floor to the top floor. And certain studios you can smoke, certain studios you couldn't. And it was all based off the engineer that was working in the studio that rented it out.
Yeah.
But for the most part, at least my studio sessions, you couldn't smoke inside the studio because, for one, I don't want the engineer getting contact or wanting to smoke and then take it away from the session, which I paid for. And then, two, it's like, if I want to have a conducive environment, 9 times out of 10, I don't bring people to my studio session unless they are either a producer, they've made the beat, or they're a singer doing vocals or something like that. I want everybody to be focused on the agenda.
There's just too many distractions.
Yeah. Speaking of that was one of the questions. When you rent out a space, let's say, and then there's an entourage. Now I know you're not running as an engineer, but naturally, do you prefer spaces that are just the creators, or do you is it kind of 50-50, entourage with their creator with them, or vice versa, like one solo creator with the engineer, and then they're just knocking it out? Like, which one have you seen the most productivity go through, if that makes sense?
It's hard to say. And it really comes down to how the artist feels after the session. Now, if the artist thinks that they captured their best performance or something that really hits, and they did it with all these
eyes and
all this stuff, right? Then you can't argue the product.
True.
Now, let's say he goes in one-on-one and the engineer drives him until he gets that best performance. He may be sweating bullets or she may be, feeling like, I just ran a marathon. I don't ever want to do that again. But you listen to it and it's the best.
It sounds
it's
incredible.
The best take,
right?
It's the best take. It's the one that's going on the record. It may be the one that goes viral. You don't know. So I think you got to look at the product, and then you got to have a little self accountability. Like, I didn't do my best work when I was fucked up, and I had, 3 drunk friends going, that sounded awesome, dude.
Yeah.
Like,
Just being some yes man.
Play back one more time.
Yeah.
Did it?
Yeah. Yeah. Or you listen to it the next day and it sounds completely different than you did when you actually were going through.
Don't always love what you were doing the night before.
Oh my God. Yeah.
But
exactly.
answering your question, I think it depends.
It's a perfect answer.
So how's
The
that
product.
hedging?
But it's true. It's true. It all depends on the product. Because I've went in, not.
Just water.
Yeah, perfect.
Water.
Thank you.
You want one too?
Yeah, sure, please. Shout out to Liquid Death. I remember recording certain sessions, thought it was immaculate, but go back, listen to it, and the demo actually sounded better than the session.
Yeah.
And the demo I did.
Sometimes you get that grimy sound from the demo too that you prefer.
Oh, yeah.
But that's all situational, I guess.
First track.
Yeah.
Never
Yes.
chunk the screw.
Never. Never.
Always keep that.
Yeah.
I'm working on something right now. I'm trying to get doing files through Dropbox. I've got a buddy in Oklahoma that we're trying to write some stuff with.
Yeah.
And so I've got all these scratch tracks going on. I'm trying to keep it all straight, but I'm not chunking them either. Even though I'm booting down some. Jesus, what do you call that? I can't think of it.
No, we've almost lost whole projects like that and just saved them with a scratch track before.
Yeah, because you need the reference.
I email them to myself.
Smart.
Redundant.
Yeah. I email it to myself. That way, if anything.
I text
happens to
myself
the
a lot of
phone-
stuff too.
Yeah. It's easy to save it.
Smart.
Yeah, you can always log into an email and then that's a backup.
Right. Copies.
Yeah.
I need. That's. Thank you.
You got it. You got it.
All right, so let's go into our segment, hit or shit. So in this segment, all you got to do is tell us if it's a hit for you or if it's shit.
All right.
I'll just name a few things. First thing on the list, since it's Christmas time, maybe you've been involved in one of these, Secret Santa. Is that hit or shit for you?
I'm gonna go shit on that.
Shit?
Shit.
Yeah.
Sheet.
I'm not really a fan either, man.
I hate it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've had.
Does anyone like it, like Secret Santa? I mean,
Awkward.
like it's awkward, right?
Well, you always got that one dude that's like, got every name you draw out is his. Somebody's stacking the deck.
Where?
Yeah.
I saw my father do that. That is.
It come time, he's just getting handed everything.
Like, oh, thank you.
Yeah.
You shouldn't have.
Finesse.
I didn't. So I don't know. You either always underbuy or overbuy, put you in a bad spot.
Yeah, right.
So
Yeah.
I'm gonna go. Shit. Final answer.
Cool. Shit.
I think I feel the same, man. All right, so how about analog recordings?
Hit.
Yeah.
Big hit. Yeah. I'm not saying they all have to be analog, but you can't deny that tone.
Yeah.
So
There's a warmth to analog that you just don't get out of a digital.
big 2 amp guy, preamps, neb, all that stuff, all that shit, all those pieces of equipment that made the records that you love. So yeah, hit.
Yeah. Big hit there. All right, so how about Logic or Pro Tools? Which one is a hit for you?
Pro Tools, and only because I've used it more.
Okay.
It's just an experience thing. Logic is a great product, and they do a lot. Pro Tools and Cakewalk, Sonar is how I got going.
Okay.
But then I circled back and picked up Pro Tools later. So
Yeah.
and I think again, every project needs a different tool, and some things do one thing and some things do another. And
Yeah, no, I get that. I think I'm more just familiar with Logic, so I prefer Logic.
Yeah.
But Yeah, I think it's a familiarity thing, I guess.
It's kind of weird. You get territorial about the one you grew up.
Yeah, right.
I want to learn something new.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I can do it.
on
Yeah,
this.
I can do it on this.
You know the whole interface, literally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hate having to learn new editing software, dude. It's the worst.
Headache.
It's a pain.
Yeah.
but
All right.
it's necessary.
So last one on the hit or shit list, the Dallas Cowboys.
Hit.
Hit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not up to me. My father is the biggest diehard Dallas Cowboys fan that ever walked the earth. I'm convinced of that. When I was growing up, I had a little Dallas Cowboys helmet nightlight. The toy box was
Oh, wow.
small. Like
Yeah.
Dallas Cowboy football. The posters on the walls until I had a choice about what it was rosters from like the '81 Cowboys.
Right.
You know, the whole team. So, and some of the best times I have is when I can go catch a game with my dad and
Sure.
sit and he coached high school football in Texas for decades.
Oh, so this is in your family.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
literally.
Yeah.
Blood.
So I still don't know anything compared to the old man, but it's good to shoot the shit with him and try to keep up with it.
Did you see the game last week?
I don't want to talk about that.
That was pretty whack, right?
Wait, so I watched half the game with
Yeah.
my dad and Al, and then we got home, and I'm looking at my app on ESPN. Like, okay, we're not in there as much as we were.
Yeah.
34-31, and I flip it on and I watch the OT, the overtime bullshit happen. I was like, it's hard being
Dude,
a
we were-
Dallas fan.
Yeah.
It's a
Dude.
Dallas fan.
Dude, I love that joke that Caleb Presley does on Barstool when he's talking to Post Malone. He's got the always tired thing, and he's like, "What does that mean on your face? That always tired?" He's like, "Is that always tired of being a Cowboys fan?" Because he's from Dallas,
Yeah, yeah.
That shit's hilarious to me.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, right on. So that's it or shit, man. Yeah,
Did a good job, by the way.
yeah,
Yeah.
awesome.
Kick, push, 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 kick, push. Radio, 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 radio.
That was good.
So let's talk about studio vending machines for a minute, man. Because I one of the raddest things is when I go to a studio or a rehearsal spot and they have a vending machine.
Yeah.
Because it's stocked with not the normal shit you see, like snacks. You got guitar strings, earplugs, capos or straps or
Yeah.
tubes, whatever the fuck it might be, and then you got some snacks.
Right.
But I always think that's so sick when you walk in there. So like, what kind of stuff are you keeping in your vending machine?
So we got one. Sticks, picks, 9-volt batteries.
Oh, that's a good
Nice.
one. Yeah, I didn't think about that.
Patch cables.
Yeah.
Drum keys, because those get got.
And that's pretty
walls.
universal.
Right. What is the other gear? Straps and strap locks. And that's from my old lead singer saying his strap never worked. Pissed me off to put that in there. Is that on strings? Bass strings?
Yeah.
Not always in there. What they don't tell you is that conventional vending machines aren't exactly designed to vend
Certain.
sticks.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, certain products. I was just thinking about that.
How'd you figure that out?
Well, so I got in there and kind of.
You rigged it?
Well, yeah, actually. So so it's got 4 of these, divider, the corkscrew
The
looking
rings.
things,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So took 2 of those out of the middle, ran the sticks long way, and then zip tied the 2 in the back so that, because if you've got these 2 things, once it starts bending and moving, it starts moving out like this. So
Yeah.
your
Okay.
arms will move.
Yeah.
Wait, so zip tie them together. Now the fucked up part of it is, every time somebody buys a pair of sticks, I got to go in and cut the zip tie, move it back.
Oh,
Because eventually the zip tie moves up to the front,
yeah.
and it won't bend the stick.
It's-
So if somebody has better, and I know, we get comments or whatever, if somebody has better advice on how
Yeah,
to
yeah.
bend Vickford sticks.
Yeah, y'all leave it in the comments, please.
Yeah,
Word.
I am open to learning new things. So
Oh, yeah.
That's cool.
But everything else is pretty easy to get done. But then you got to test it also.
Yeah.
See if
Just
it actually.
pumping money into the machine, trying to make sure that everything doesn't get hung up. Oh, I have string winders and capos too.
Yeah, yeah.
I was
I always thought that was so cool though when I went into the studio spot and they had a vending machine. I was like, oh, right on, dude, because you never know.
So I look at it like, if something's going to stop practice,
Yeah.
come in here. So whether that's candy bars or healthy snacks like our granola bars that are in there, or salt like all the chips and anything you need to keep
going.
moving. Yeah, keep practice going.
That's awesome, man. Yeah.
First thing that came to mind was XLR cables because it seems
Oh, yeah. You probably got cables in there too, huh?
I have patch cables, but they're quarter to quarter, and it's for a like if you're
Like
on
pedals.
Now, adapters would be smart. The next two items that are going in are those adapters, quarter to XLR, and then I'll have to probably do a mix of female to male XLRs. But the other thing is those clip-on tuners.
Yeah.
oh shit,
Yeah.
People don't, they're small, they're
Yeah.
not terribly expensive.
they'll fit in right
you-
perfectly.
That's
Yeah.
perfect, dude.
Damn.
And a buddy of mine who came through with his band said, you got to get these in your machine because my guitar player keeps losing
Dude,
his or smashed.
I've literally got a handful of those because I've
Yeah.
lost them and then found them, lost them, found them. I have a handful, and they're cheap too. They're like $15-20, so I'll just buy a new one when I lose it. And,
Yeah.
I gotta come by your studio, man.
Yeah.
I'd love to check it out.
You should.
He's like, yeah, come through, dude. Come on.
Bring your friends.
Book a session.
Yeah.
Book a session. I got a lot of homies in the scene, so naturally that would work.
Well,
We're
I'll
always
take care of
looking
your
for a
first
spot.
session. Being on the show, I'll take care of y'all the first time, and then
Word.
I bet
Oh,
you
awesome.
We'll get the word out for
Yeah,
sure.
that'd be cool.
Yeah.
Oh, man, that's awesome. So let me ask you. This is a question I ask everyone on here. It's more of a philosophical question, I guess, or however you want to view it. As I guess generally, just phrasing it, how do you experience time? Do you worry about time? Is time relevant to you at all?
Is time relevant to me?
How do you experience it though? Is it moving quickly, fast, slow, or
I will say this: I did not value time
yeah?
the way I do now. 15 years ago, 20 years ago, and it seems like as time goes on that it's speeding up, or there's a list of things that you want to get done in a certain amount of time. So time, it's a vicious taskmaster in a lot of ways because if you've got a family, if you've got a job, if you've got two jobs, if you've got and you're trying to write or record music or trying to be creative too.
Yeah. Finding that time is hard.
I can kind of squash creative and a little bit of business together, but all of those things take time. Can't get a track right, takes time, and then you're constantly looking at the time you've got allotted for something is ticking down.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think about time a lot, and I try to think about, am I doing the most with it? And you start paying attention to habits like a stupid game on your phone or something.
Oh, yeah.
Is this helping you?
Yeah.
Is this getting you where you want to go?
Right,
Probably
right.
need 86 that, or
Yeah.
but you still got to make time for seeing your family,
Things.
and then trying to not look like, this is the hour that I've got for this.
Yeah, right.
Right.
Come on, guys, we're
There's
trying
a
to.
while.
We got to get it in.
We got 1 hour here, guys. Let's.
Yes. While I'm here, please.
Right.
Oh, I
So
feel
yeah,
you.
so that's a big question.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
It's
man.
a show in and of itself.
Yeah, no, I get great responses with that one. It's my favorite question to ask people.
It's one of my favorites.
All right.
Yeah, so let me
Working on that.
let me give
That's
you a
what we like to
chance.
do.
Let me give you a chance just to kind of tell everyone about the studio, where they can find you at, how to book, and anything you want to say.
So we are on. You can find us at SquareWaveLive.com. We're on Instagram at SquareWave Live. Also on TikTok. Love to see some more followers on that. We worked with a great marketing team at Austere who helped us put together some of the videos and images that you'll see on that. So thank you to Natasha and her team for that. So those are Instagram, Facebook. We've got our Facebook artist page. Also, it's run by Shayna, who is in our studio. And any way you can find me, please do. We are in East Dallas. We are right at the corner of Shiloh and Northwest Highway. So right in the corner of like.
I know exactly where you're at.
Yeah, just north of the Arboretum there. I don't normally do that 30-second spiel. But
Yeah.
yeah, you can find us online. You can find us in person. I'm always at the shop between about 8:30 to 6. Not hard to find.
Yeah, that was great.
Just call us.
Yeah.
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 Y'all be sure and book. Y'all reach out to them, follow,
You can book
shit.
online.
Yeah.
If the spot's available, you just go through the website with our scheduling, lock it in, and then expect a call from me because I'm going to call you and give you your access code to get you into the building, that gets you into the room, and I'm also going to ask you what you need when you get there, so that I'll have it ready to go.
So everyone's talking directly to you.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah. It's not a big staff.
No, I like that.
It's just me and the man in the
Dude, I like
That's
that.
direct.
Dude,
Direct to consumer.
I want to go straight to the source. Like,
Yeah.
skip the middle people. Like, let me go straight to the source.
Exactly.
So, and I care about the experience.
Yeah.
We had I don't know if I could say her name, but we had a phenomenal jazz musician in, and loved it. I would love to get more of that kind of clientele.
Sure.
Or just, I like different artists. I like different music, so it's cool to see behind the scenes.
That's got to be cool walking through the halls, just hearing
That different feedback.
It's pretty wild.
That's gotta be neat.
You hear some crazy stuff.
Yeah.
But that's what makes it fun. I think you gotta love music to do it.
You have
For
to.
sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
Absolutely.
Man, Bart, it was a pleasure meeting you, bro.
Yeah.
It's been a lot of fun. I made it easy. I was kind of sweating that. I watched a couple of your previous shows.
I appreciate it.
I'm not gonna sound like that guy.
Oh, dude. Hey, I appreciate it because honestly, I want to have more than just rappers on here.
Yeah.
And the majority of the people on here have been rappers. But honestly, every rapper in the city wants to do a podcast, and I don't mind having y'all on. I really don't. But anybody, I want to talk to everybody. I want to talk to the carpenter down the street, or the comedian at the improv. It's anybody. I don't care.
Well, if you don't mind, I'll be happy to put this show on our socials.
Please.
A little promotion.
Yeah.
That'd be great.
I'd appreciate it.
Yeah, because this was cool. I really didn't know what to expect. I've never done one, so thank you.
Yeah, thanks for coming through,
Thank
man.
you.
Yeah.
Thank you, man.
Hey, and thank all y'all. Thanks for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe. Everyone on the Twitch, thanks for tuning in. Y'all be you, we're gonna be us. Later.
Peace.
Thank you.
If you'd like to see raw, unedited, live episodes, follow us on Twitch at twitch.tv/whatsupwiththat. To watch full episodes of What's Up With That, subscribe to us on YouTube at youtube.com/whatsupwiththat.